Hello, we have some wonderful recipes today to present to you. My name is Debra Holland, and I have two special guests with me.
My name is Julianne Hilden. This is my sister Christina.
And our first recipe will be the tahini sauce. Let's get started.
So for the tahini sauce, we're going to start by chopping up some garlic.
We're going to just chop it up, and we're going to saute this. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to just spray our skillet a little. Okay, do we have a little spoon or? Okay, let's just get our garlic going here. Smells good already. Okay.
So we're going to start by putting the stuff in the blender. First, we're going to put the cup of tahini.
We know that tahini is originally grind sesame seeds, and so it's a wonderful alternative when you're creating sauces. Really helps enhance the taste as well. It gives you that nutty sesame taste, so I love that about it.
Next, we're going to put the fourth a cup of water, but since tahini is so thick, we're going to put some extra water besides the fourth a cup. Then we're going to put the fourth a teaspoon of sunflower liquid lecithin, and with that is the
Bragg's aminos.
Bragg's aminos, yep.
And Bragg's, if you don't know what Bragg's is a substitute for people that maybe you can't have soy sauce, so you can use the alternative Bragg aminos. It's Bragg aminos, and it's good for, like I say, if you can't have the soy sauce and you really like soy sauce, well, just add some Bragg's to whatever you're creating.
Yep. Next, we're going to put the honey and the lemon juice.
Okay, we have honey again, another sweetener. And you may think, well, why would you put a sweetener in a sauce? Any sweetener, it enhances the taste. Just put in a little bit. It brings all of those flavors to the front, okay?
Yep, then we're going to put the paprika, cumin in there. And there's a little bit of cayenne.
Oh, my. Some people are afraid of cayenne, but cayenne is good for you. It helps to stimulate that blood, so don't be afraid of the cayenne. I understand if it's too hot. I wouldn't put it too hot, but, it's really good for the body. It helps to get the blood circulating, and so don't be afraid of it. Okay, we're going to add our garlic now, a little roasted garlic. Okay, doesn't that smell good, ladies? Oh, I love the smell of that. Okay. Now we will just pulse it, put our lid on, ladies, and put it on, make sure, yes, okay. Okay. Wow, that looks good. That's the right consistency. Now our next recipe will be our edamame guacamole dip. Okay, now we will do our edamame guacamole dip.
We're going to start off with 1.5 cups of frozen shelled edamame.
Edamame beans is it is a soy bean, and it is excellent for protein. So you're getting some good protein here.
Then we'll do 1 cup of green olives, pitted.
And green olives, we know that we love olives. Olives are very good for you, especially for the skin. Olives is great for the skin.
Then we'll do some garlic.
Oh, there's that delicious tasting garlic.
Then we'll do the 2 large avocados.
Okay, we're just going to scoop the avocado in here. You know, avocado is also good for the heart. It's good for the body and the skin and the hair, and it's good for so many things. Avocado is wonderful. If you want just a nice sandwich, slice you some avocado, put it on some bread. It is delicious. I really like avocado. You can do so many things with avocado, you know. Okay.
So now we'll do 1 tablespoon of tahini.
And again, you know, the tahini is the sesame seed. It's ground sesame seed. It's really what it is. So it's another one of the nuts that we have.
Then we'll do 1/4 cup of chopped tomatoes.
We know tomatoes are excellent for us. Tomatoes, you can add tomatoes in just about any dish almost, you know. Especially if you're having your salads, you want fresh sliced tomatoes or fresh chopped tomatoes. It really enhances the salad.
Then we'll do 2 tablespoons of finely chopped green onions.
And green onions is great for this dish because with the guacamole, you want to taste that hint of the green onions that just come right out at you, you know. So you're going to enjoy that.
Then we'll do 2 tablespoons of finely chopped cilantro.
Cilantro.
I love cilantro.
Cilantro is another herb that really enhances the taste of whatever you're creating. You don't feel bad. Just add a little cilantro to it, and you're going to notice a great taste.
Then we'll do 3 tablespoons of lemon juice.
And lemon juice. And lemon juice as well will help to stabilize and bring everything to the front as well.
Then we'll do 1/2 teaspoon of fresh or dried basil, and we'll do also chili powder, paprika,
Okay.
and a little bit of salt to taste.
Okay. And we have some ground cumin seed here. You can take the cumin when it's the seed, and you can lightly saute it, and then grind it in your coffee grinder, and you have a wonderful roasted cumin, and it really enhances the taste. So try that sometime.
And then we'll have the Bragg's liquid aminos.
And again, we have the Bragg's, which is, if you can't have soy sauce, substitute it for Bragg's. Okay, now we're going to pulse it some. Okay. We're just going to pulse it. And then we need to get the sides, make sure we get around the sides, get all that blended in well. Oh, that looks good. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It looks
I can
good
smell it
already, right? Okay, especially you can see the avocados mixing in well. All right, let's go again. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Oh my, yeah, that looks good. Take a good look at that. It's great for crackers or whatever you would like to put it on. So we're done with our dip, and now our next recipe will be black-eyed pea tostadas. That sounds good, doesn't it? Hello, I'm glad you're still there and joining us now. We're going to now do black-eyed pea tostada. We're going to do the black-eyed peas that will be we will top on the tostada. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with water. And then you will need at least 4 cups of frozen, thawed, pre-cooked black-eyed peas. And that is what we have here. Now, black-eyed peas, the process, you need to make sure that you soak it overnight. soak it overnight, and then when you put it to boil the next day, you boil it, and then you will strain it and rinse the bean and put it back to boil, and you will strain it again. You will empty the water and strain it again, and then this time you will place the beans in the pot, and you will let them cook, bring them to a boil, and then you will just let it simmer, okay? The rest of the time, for at least 20 minutes, you will let it simmer. Okay, so we've added the black-eyed peas to the pot, and we will stir it. Okay. Okay, now.
Now we'll start with the garlic. We'll have 2 cloves of garlic.
Black beans is high in iron, believe it or not. You need the iron for the body, right? We need lots of iron, as much as we need all of the other different calciums and, vitamins and nutrition that we need. We need the iron as well, so don't leave out the iron in your diet. And now we have also the garlic, and she's chopping the garlic right now. And we're gonna, that's, looking good. And we're going to just lightly saute the garlic. That looks good, yeah. And again, the garlic is great for, especially for viruses, and it's very healthy for you, because if you've got something going on in the immune system, it will certainly help take care of it. Okay. She's going to spray it just a little bit. Okay. Oh, where's your other spoon? Okay. And garlic, again, it makes so you can smell the aroma. It just makes everything smells good. When you're cooking garlic on the stove, you may not have anything else in the pot. You may just be sauteing the garlic, and all of a sudden, everyone's wanting to come to your door, right? It's like something smells good here. Exactly. That's what garlic does. It enhances the taste. And so we're just stirring the black-eyed peas and the garlic. And then we're getting ready to combine everything. Okay. So we're going to pour the garlic, sauteed garlic, into the beans, into the black-eyed peas there. Okay. And now we will start the rest of our ingredients.
So we'll do the 1/2 cup of chopped roasted red bell peppers.
And red bell peppers, we know, when you roast them, it really also brings out the wonderful fragrance that it should have, and the taste. It makes things come alive, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then we'll do a teaspoon of garlic powder.
If you don't have your whole garlic, you can easily substitute it with your garlic powder.
And then a teaspoon of onion powder.
We have the chives that's coming up, we have the spices first.
Yep, we have the salt and the paprika.
But paprika, it is a pepper, but it's not very spicy. Some people think when you say paprika, it's going to be too hot. No, it's pretty mild, and it really enhances the recipe. And we have the salt there as well.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the 2 tablespoons of dried chives.
Okay, so if you don't have fresh green onions and you have dried chives, that's a good substitute. It's the same thing as just a form of dried green onions. And it really enhances the food.
Then we'll have the oil.
Okay, normally you won't use, we use just a small amount, maybe a teaspoon at the most of oil. We're not trying to add too much fat to this recipe. So we're just adding 1 teaspoon of oil.
Then we'll have the arrowroot powder or tapioca starch, whichever one. Which one is this one?
This one is tapioca. And
tapioca.
Tapioca is, if you don't have cornstarch or you don't have arrowroot powder, which is most people, you can use, if you don't have cornstarch, you can use arrowroot powder. It is from a root. And you can use that it's a thickener. So to thicken your beans or whatever it is you need to thicken up a little, that is a good substitute. So we're going to just stir that in real well. And so that's what the tapioca is good for. It really will start to thicken the beans up a little. So you want to, when you want to create your tostada, it's not going to be so runny. You want it to have a little thickness to it, like a broth, you know, like a gravy more or less. And so that's why we're using the arrowroot or the tapioca. And so now look at this. It's looking good. I don't know if you can see it in this pot, but it's looking very good now. See the different combinations of colors. You want colors. You have different type of rainbow colors. There you have your red, and then you have your beans, which is your protein, and you have iron. You have all kinds of wonderful nutritional ingredients in this recipe. And now we're going to get ready. As that simmer, we're going to get ready to build our tostada. Okay. Now these are tostadas, and you can find these in any store in the Mexican section. They're tostadas, and they're already ready for you to just plate. So we're going to plate it here. And these are the black-eyed peas that we have already cooked in order to drain. Because when you cook those, you're going to make sure you strain them and let them sit in the strainer for a little bit, because you want them to get a lot of the liquid out before you put them on a tostada, so it won't make them so flimsy, you know. So we have already strained it, and so we're going to start building here. These are the black-eyed peas, and we're going to just put some here. You can fill it up to your desired taste, but we're just going to put some on both. That's looking good already, huh? Look at that. Now would you like to do one? And so it looks that's why you see you don't have so much of the broth with it. So it makes it easier for you to be able to put the black-eyed peas on the tostada, and then you're able to put all of your other ingredients without everything dripping, right? So that's the ideal. We don't want it to drip too much. It may drip a little, but not too much. Okay, now we have the black-eyed peas, and now we will start building the tostada. So we will start with our lettuce. Maybe you have some colorful greens. You know, this one have kale and chard and spinach, which is a combination of all the wonderful different type of greens that you can add in a salad. So we're just going to top it. Look at that. That looks good. Some use cabbage, and cabbage is good as well. But here we have the 3 different types of green salad. Combine the chard, the kale, and the spinach. And now that we have that, we're going to now top it with our, remember we created an edamame guacamole dip. So now we're going to use this on our tostada. So let's put some on here. Just going to top it off here. That looks good. It smells good too. Okay. And then now we have, that looks good already, right? Okay, but we still have something left to put on here. We have our tomatoes and we have olives. So let's add now our tomatoes. Look how fresh those tomatoes look too. Man, I could stop right now and eat one, right? But no, we're going to hold on. Oh, that looks good. Okay, and so already we're building this. I don't know if you have noticed that we start out with our protein. We have our beans, and that we have our shell, our tostada shell, and then our black-eyed peas, and so there's our protein, right? And then we're coming on with our different types of lettuce, which gives us a wonderful nutrition, right? And then we have our edamame guacamole dip, right? And so everything is looking fine, but we still have another ingredient to add, right? I don't know how many of you like olives. There are olives, you have green olives, you have black olives, And they both are wonderful for you, and we should eat as much olives as possible. They're really healthy for us. They're good for the skin again. Even the hair, the skin, the hair, you have olives is good for that. And, you know, it helps too for us to cut down on oil, thinking we have to have oil. It has its own natural oil in the olive oil and the olives, you know. So we don't have to use a lot of olive oil, just use your olives and top it off. Sometimes we like to pack our foods with salad dressings and all of these things, but you can turn around and create your own by just using your olives and then building with everything you have here. And when you're finished, you have a complete home-based, plant-based diet here. You have everything that plant-based, and you can't beat that, you know. So try to build your own tostada at home and see how you come out looking good like this, okay? So we have now our olives now. And you know, earlier we created what is called a tahini sauce. And we said tahini, remember, is made from sesame seeds. And so they grind those sesame seeds up, and they create, because the sesame seeds themselves have oil, right? So when you grind that up, you're grinding it up, and it will give you this oily consistency along with the nut that comes from the nut itself. And so therefore you can create your own tahini. And so this is a tahini sauce that is very beneficial and very good for you because it's got a lot of, tahini is very good for, instead of us packing our bodies with a lot of fats, this is a natural fat. The nuts come more of a natural, you're eating them in their natural forms, you're grinding them down, but you're still eating them in their natural form. You're not overcooking them or overheating them. You're eating them in their possible natural form that you can get it, right? And that's what's good for the body. And we want to keep the bodies healthy, right?
Yep.
How does this look to you?
Delicious.
Yes, you? Yeah? It looks like you're ready to eat it now,
Oh, yeah.
huh?
And to bring the mind back to the beans, they're thick. The
Okay.
tapioca did its work.
Yeah, so let's lift it up a little and let's see that. Yes, that looks good. And see, that way when you strain it, you don't have much water to strain off, but you can strain it enough to where it's not dripping all over the place. And the good thing about the black-eyed peas, you know, if you don't have it on a tostada, you can turn around and create a soup from this. You can make your black-eyed pea soup. You know, and that would be it looks like a soup right now. When you look at in the pot, it looks like it could be a soup easily. So anyway, so we have created this, we've built our tostada, and now our last ingredients that we will drizzle on here will be our tahini. Oh, that looks good. Get on the sides too, yeah. That looks good.
There you go.
Wow, now can you see that? That is lovely. That is a wonderful meal. And one of these, you know, it may be too much to eat two at one time, but one is very filling. It's going to fill you up because it's got all of the vitamins. It's got the vitamins and the nutrition you need to where you're not coming back and 10, 20 minutes later saying, I'm still hungry, you know. It's going to fill you up. And that's the thing about plant-based foods. They will fill you up, and you're not hungry so soon, right? And that's what we want. Well, I'm going to take a few minutes just to mention I have a cookbook. It's Debra's Kitchen. And this cookbook is a plant-based cookbook. It shows you a lot of the wonderful recipes for plant-based foods. You can create your own cheeses, your own mayos, mayonnaise or mayo, vegan, plant-based. And so it have a lot of wonderful recipes here. And so, you know, that's what we can do. We can find ways that we can create our own recipes, and we know what's in them, and we're able to not only, you know, enjoy it for ourselves, but we're able to share it with everyone that we come in contact with, right? And so we just want to take the time to say thank you for coming into the kitchen with us today, and we hope you enjoy this recipe.